Shalom. Yahba Shem Yashabrak Yahweh Shema Alatham by Shem Yashah. I'm priest and officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General Yohana. And today we're going to talk about false prophets amongst our people. Just give me a second and we can I'm gonna let you gather your stuff, get everything, give everybody a minute to get everything together. Hold on. All right. Yeah, Salakia. All right. So today we're gonna go into false prophets and how destructive they are to our people. Because many of our people to this day, even to this day, that have been given this truth, that have been known about this truth for years, they still choose to follow these heresies, these heretic doctrines that are out here. We choose to follow, and when I say we, I'm talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We choose to follow Christianity when Christianity misuses the Bible. Christianity manipulates our people that are trying to follow the Lord, that's really wholeheartedly looking for answers on why we're in this condition, why we're in this hell that we're in. Christianity takes the Bible and twists it. And this is why when Hosea 4:6, when the Most High says that we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, it's because as a part of contributing to our lack of knowledge is false prophets that are misleading the sheep, the Lord's people, our people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. So when you get a chance, Magunya Allah, let me get Romans 9:4.
Come.
Because understand that this Bible is not for everybody. This Bible is not for any other nation. If you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, the Bible really have nothing to do with you.
Salakia, sir. Can you give me that scripture again, sir, please?
Yeah, no sweat. Romans, 9th chapter, 4th verse.
Come.
Let me know when you got it, all right?
Come.
That's Trooper Magunya Allah. He out there a little under the weather, but he out there trooping it. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
That's what's up.
Romans, Salakia, sir, the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption?
Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption? Who are Israelites? The 12 tribes,
That's
the
right.
Black, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Haitians, the so-called Jamaicans, West Indians, excuse me, the so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Dominicans, the so-called brothers and sisters in South America, the so-called Mexican, all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, are the Israelites. To whom pertaineth the adoption? Read.
and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises.
That's pretty much self-explanatory. And the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law. The giving of the law within the Bible. And the services of the powers. Whenever you're using God, use powers, all right, brother?
Come.
You see, when you see God, all right, no sweat. And the promises, who are the Israelites? We're the Israelites. And again, and like I said earlier, and like we've been saying, and like what the Bible has been saying, and what the Lord has been saying, this Bible is only for us. This is our records, this is our cultures, our history. But our false prophets are not telling our people that, because our false prophets, you know who they God is? Money.
Mm.
As long as they're able to get money and keep that cash flowing in, that's what they worship. That's what they put all their trust and they believe in. They put all their faith in money. As long as they have money, they feel like they cannot be touched. They cannot be harmed. That they will live forever. They think the amount of money that they have will measure the power and authority that they think they have. Because what a lot of them fail to realize is they're putting they putting they treasures into this money.
Mm-hmm.
They putting their treasures. They believing in, tangible, you know, intangible things right there. But they need to focus on tangible things like spiritual things, like life, like the Most High, being able, like making it through the first resurrection and being a part and holding a high position in this kingdom to come.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But they rather just deal with that. Because you know what a lot of those false prophets have? Stockholm syndrome.
Mm.
A lot of those false prophets, they'll rather deal with the oppression, their oppressor, excuse me. They don't believe, they don't have faith in the Most High and what the Bible is telling them. They use the Bible to get the money to manipulate, but they don't believe in the Bible. They don't care about the Bible. They just use the Bible to take advantage. Just like your typical preacher that take advantage of little boys and girls, take advantage of a broken household, a sister that's broken in her
That's right.
relationship.
That's right.
They take advantage of anybody that is looking, that is catching hell. And when I say
Mm.
anybody, I'm talking about of our people,
Right.
old or young. They don't care. They'll take any and everybody's money. And when it comes time for them to shell out money, they won't. Like, I'm a sidebar for a second. I don't know if any of y'all watched what was that show on BMF? Uh 50 Cent on Stars, if any of y'all got Stars. But there was a part in there when I was watching it where Snoop Dogg was playing the preacher. And the brother came in and he was doing all kinds of work for him, running around, running errands for the preacher. And he was housing a drug dealer. Drug dealer gave him a big knot of cash. And before he went outside, the brother came. Before he went outside, he digged into his pocket and pulled out, I think, like a little 5 spot. And was like, yo, this is all he had right there. After the brother done gave him like he gave him a knot, like a fistful of hundreds.
Hmm.
It just goes to show you that right there, even though it's a movie, that's the reality of how our false prophets,
That's right.
especially in the Christian church, get down. They're not for our people. They're not for the Lord's chosen. They're not for their people.
Salaki, sir.
Hold on a second. Hold
Yes,
on a
sir.
second,
Yes,
brother. They're not for our people at all. But you know who they for? They for themselves. When you look, if you're not in this truth, let me tell you something real quick. If you're not
Mhm.
in this truth, if you're not in ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, that's the mentality. Whether you're in Christianity, Islam, you name it, our people are for self. If you're not in this truth right here, our people are selfish.
Hmm.
And let me hip y'all to something real quick. You know how you know our people are selfish and inconsiderate and ungrateful? Because our King Yahweh Shai died for us to give us another chance. And I don't see, yo, this school, ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, should be filled up with every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian in there, paying their tithes, giving donations to help build this nation so we can flourish in this wicked ass kingdom, right? But our people are so ungrateful that our king, our brother, who gave his life for us so we can get one more chance to get it right, died for us. Never met him, but he died for us.
Hmm.
How many how many of y'all out there would do that for a brother or sister that you don't even know? That's why when you come into ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, you have brothers and sisters coming from all walks of life, from jail, from being homeless, going through it, getting abused, getting molested, you name it, being on drugs, being strung out. Brothers coming from all walks of life having mental issues, right? And by the way, sidebar, we take everybody. We're not the Christian church. If you're black, Hispanic, or Native Indians, we don't turn you around. We don't turn you around because you don't we don't want you to be a part of us because you make us look bad. When you come in, we welcome everybody, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. But now if you come in and you're still doing wrong and you're doing worldly things, then yeah, you will get tossed out. Believe that. But initially, everybody comes in and everybody's welcome. Poor, homeless, you name it. We don't sit there and look at you and judge you by the way you dress. We don't look to see if you have more money than the next man. We don't care about that. You know what we care about? We care about saving souls. We care about our brothers and sisters living. Like the scriptures tell you, you got just like you look up to the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You got to look at that brother or sister eating out of that garbage can the same way. As a matter of fact, even more because they're greater. They're greater than us. They're better than us. We're here to serve them. Christianity won't teach you that. Egyptology won't teach you that. Islam won't teach you that. None of these other religions that our people are in, that our people are so called uh, 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 running or in deep, knee deep. We'll teach you that. But you know what they will teach you? To give up the money with no solution. To sit there and hand over their hard work, their hard-earned money, and don't have a solution, and take off with the money. And understand this. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Commanding General Yohana, he takes the money, and guess what he does with it? He puts it where it needs to be, as far as building this nation, feeding our people, paying rents, putting food on the table. And a lot of times it's for a lot of brothers and sisters that don't even come into the school. Just to put y'all up on a game that don't know, or that doubts. So when we say pay your tithes and give donations, every brother, every sister in here damn near works. We make our own money. Any money we get, we giving back to brothers and sisters that need it, that need to get through the week, get through the day. Because we're here, we're priests and prophets of the Lord. We're here to build our nation, build this nation up. Commanding General Yohana have raised men in this wicked, effeminate society to go out and do this work. Commanding General Yohana has raised soldiers 10 toes down to do this work.
Right.
Your Christian pastors ain't doing that. You know what they raising? Homosexuals. They're raising men that they have violated when they was young to go out and do what? To have that domino effect, to do it to another young brother or sister, where when they went in, they whatever little issues they might have had, they done broke them to the point where they have bigger issues and they are broken. And when they get good and ready, you know what they do? They get rid of them. They spit them out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After they got what they want from them. After they took advantage of them. Don't believe me? You go down all old news articles, even up until this present day. That's what goes on all in these Christian churches. That don't go on at ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. That do not fly right. Because trust me, the Lord is not a respecter of persons. So understand, you do wrong, you will get the dog, excuse my French, the dog shit checked out of you.
Right. Right.
And that won't happen up in here. You want to know why? Because Commanding General Yohana, under the Most High and our King Yahweh Shah, in the spirit of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, raised men.
That's right.
Men.
That's right.
Men that is the whole new breed of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men that are going to start building back our community. That's been building back our communities, excuse me.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Salakia, brother. I know I went on. It was something you want to say? I'm
No,
sorry.
no, but it's good. I was gonna say the camera. Your camera is like it's a little slower than when you're speaking. And it
Is?
clears itself. Yeah, calm.
Oh, it could be I don't know, the fiber optics. I'm not
Yeah.
technical. Fiber optics. The bandwidths. I'm just throwing names out there. I don't know. I'm not a technical dude at all, but
It's not too bad
it
though. It's
is.
not too bad. It's
It's
not
good
too
now.
bad. It's it's not too bad. It just freezes up a little bit and then it'll catch up. But it's
All
not it's
right.
not it's not too bad. Maybe a 3 second freeze or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yo, Thawad, I appreciate that. You
No
know?
sweat.
Yeah. Okay, no sweat. Thawad, I appreciate you, warrior. Yeah, so
Wonderful.
getting back to what I was saying. The false prophets, they, they while I'm talking, Salakia, brother, could you get
Mm-hmm.
me the scripture right here?
Okay.
Let me get John, First John 4:1. When you get a chance, take your time, all right?
Okay.
Let me know when you got it, all right? Um, but getting back to the false prophets, we got to do better as a people.
Come good.
We got to start waking up. We got to really start opening our eyes and not just taking what the pastor or every word that your pastor says. We got to start charging them. We got to start challenging them.
Mm-hmm.
If something don't sound right, the scriptures tell you to prove all things. Get them to prove all things. Get them to explain it to you. You should not be leaving out of your church without answers. And you know what
Mm.
I'll tell y'all too? When you see a brother or sister in the eyes, you became a commanding general, Yohana. The same questions you're asking, come ask us. Because we'll definitely get you the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when you got it. All right? Hold on.
Come.
Yeah, no sweat. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna throw a little shout outs. Okay, shout out to Labah Banyanyam. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alatham Bashem Yashai, Yapah Shayara, Shalom, Yahweh Shema
Long.
Alatham Bashem Yashai.
Long.
Shout out to Negro League. Oh no, that's a female, male. All right. Negro League, do the muscle up there. Shout out. All right. Oh, Salakia. Halak Shaddam. Oh, wait. Who? Oh, what the? I don't know what that is. That might be, you know, I guess they call them robots or something. I don't know. Whatever. Technology is something else, man.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the scripture, brother?
Con of the one con.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm so ready. I'm ready, sir.
Most High in
Book
Christ.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits
Hold
whether
up.
they
Hold up.
are of God.
Hold up. Salagia.
Mhm.
Beloved, believe not every spirit. You can't believe every spirit because if you believe everything, people will tell you anything and they will see that and they will play on that. Go ahead, read.
But try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Yeah, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit. It didn't say just believe the spirit, try the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they are of the powers, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Many false prophets are out in the world
Mm-hmm.
because understand that religions, Religions is man-made. You know what religions are? Religions are people that take a little bits of the truth and apply it to whatever they might be lusting or they want to do. For instance, if you want to be a homosexual, they have a religion out there for that where you can do everything else. You can do follow everything else, but when it comes to that, we let that slide. They'll figure a way to kind of, well, in this case, they'll take it out. They'll take out scriptures that pertain to that. If you want to be a child, child molester, if you want to, you know, celebrate Christmas, or they're taking scriptures out to fulfill their lust, to fulfill their desire. So that's where a lot of our people get caught up in that, because a lot of our people will say, you know what? I want to celebrate Christmas. So let me go over there. I want to celebrate birthdays because I still want my cake and eat it too. you know? So let me go over there. They
Mm-hmm.
seem to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you hear us talk about, especially a lot of these Israelite groups out here, a lot of them, we call them Christian lights because a lot of them do a lot of things that the Christian church do. You know, they sit there and they're just, these Christian like groups are just the groups that just know that they're Israelites, but they're
Mm-hmm.
Christian. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because a lot of them, a lot of them, when it comes down to what they believe in and what they stand on, is wicked. It's wicked as hell. It's wicked
Right.
as hell.
Right.
You know, I'm not. I'm not going to get into all that. But what I will say is that read that about try the spirit. Start from the
But
beginning.
beloved, oh, hold on. See. Salaki, sir, one moment. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the power, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Right. Because every false prophet are gone out into the world. So understand, if you're not dealing with the Bible wholeheartedly, King James Version I'm talking about too, not the New International, the Gideon, whatever else. Because those are the Bibles, scriptures, scriptures that cut these other religions are taken out. Because they want to go back into the world. They don't want to leave the world. They don't want
Mm-hmm.
to separate. They don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
holy. They don't want to separate from this world, from this society. What our people want to do is follow something that would allow them to smoke weed, use drugs, to sleep with whores, to be a homosexual, be a child molester, a pedophile, excuse me, a rapist, a murderer, a drug dealer, right?
Right.
Because if you notice, every body that go to that damn Christian church on Sundays, what do they do for the 6 days out of the week? A lot of them go to work. And I'm talking about our people, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Go to work from Monday to Friday, right? Saturday come, they up in the club. A lot of them be married, and they up in the club. They go home with whoever, or they go go have sex with, whoever, and then come home and then go to church the next day. And then the next week, the same thing. A lot of them be having affairs on at work and be married. You know?
Mm-hmm. No
But
doubt.
again, you know, that's Christianity for you. Let me tell you, the brothers and sisters in ISUPK,
Right.
golden, are precious. You want to know why? Because you're getting a man and you're getting a woman, genuine. Now, I'm not saying they don't have men and women out there in the world, but right now, the fact of you seeing us, hearing us, and not coming into the school, it shows that you're a coward. It shows that you're a coward. And we build men in here.
Right.
So you got to take the first step. I'm talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You got to take your first step into coming into here and shed yourself of the world.
That's right.
Because we understand.
Right.
We understand Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. We
Right.
understand that you're not being taught right. You're not being taught to be men. All these other religions and false prophets is showing y'all to be cowards and to be cowardly and to not deal with situations like men. It's teaching our people to be homosexuals. You know, it's teaching us to be soft,
Mm-hmm.
feminine.
Right.
And you know what? It's leaving our women out here feeling lost. You want to know why? Because the Black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman, they looking for our men to be men. They want to feel protected, but they can't feel protected. You want to know why? Because when they look now and they look at a lot of our young brothers and sisters out there, they looking at them like they need to take on. They feel like they need to take on the role, the alpha role. That's because this government, this society, our oppressor, the so-called white man, is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
These devil
That's
dogs
right.
out here, let me tell you, they are some wicked bastards that
That's
prey
right.
upon the Lord's chosen people,
That's
that
right.
prey upon the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people.
That's right. They
They
do.
sit there and you have an agenda
Mm.
to wipe us out as a race.
Mm.
That's why they push all this homosexuality, lesbianism,
Mm-hmm.
transgenderism, and try to push it to make it seem like it's okay. But the Lord said it's not okay.
Right.
Most High said that that's an abomination.
Right.
Most High is disgusted with that.
Right.
The Most
Right.
High is disgusted. Abomination means the Most High detests that.
That's right.
And it's nasty, it's filthy. But yet this wicked bastard, our oppressor, have our people and pushing it to make it seem like it's a norm. That devil, that deceiver, because that's all the devil is a deceiver.
That's right.
Our oppressor's a damn deceiver to have our people thinking it's okay to live like that. It's not okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah, Salakia. Okay, let me drop that. You get a chance. Um, let me get Matthew 7 and 15. when you get a chance, brother. You're doing a good job, brother. Just keep it up.
Water, sir.
All right.
17. The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets,
Beware of false prophets. Beware. That's the most I telling you. Look out. Be careful. Read.
which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Which come to you in sheep's clothing. That come to you all subtle, all cool, soft spoken, or oh, dressed up nice and looking like they're about something
Hmm.
with smooth words, charismatic, with style,
Mm-hmm.
sheep's clothing
Mm-hmm.
to attract the eye because we're visual people and
Mm-hmm.
we're people that see. All right, you
Right.
look like you're about something. You look like you got money. You look
Right.
like you you're somebody. That's why in First John 4:1, where it says to try the spirit,
That's right.
whether it be of the powers of the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
because many false prophets are gone into the world.
That's right. It's heavy.
So the
That's
scriptures
heavy.
tell you, the Most High tells you to try the spirits. And in Matthews, they talk about, you know, false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Sheep's clothing. How does a sheep look? Innocent. A sheep looks so innocent and so, harmless, so, you
Approachable.
know, approachable and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And guess what that sheep
Mm.
is? Go ahead, read.
But inwardly, they are ravening wolves.
But
Ravening wolves.
but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Mm-hmm.
When they come like sheeps, they come like sheeps when they coming towards your son, when they coming towards your daughter, when they coming
Yeah.
towards your wife that is broken because y'all got into an argument or because she might have seen you with another woman and she's trying to get counsel so she can get her spirit right and her mind right. Here comes this wolf, this sheep, this wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, come here, sis. You know how they do that. Come here, sis. What's wrong, sis? Yo, come here. And it's always in the back of their office or somewhere, or he come to pay a visit somewhere
Mm-hmm.
where it's
Mm-hmm.
inappropriate. And guess what you know? And guess what happens? Her dress come off. Her underclothes, her undergarments come off. They're finished. She's finished, and she's feeling more broken before she visited that her pastor or priest,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
and now her spirit's even more broken because she
That's
know what
right.
she did she should have never done.
Right.
And the fact that these bastards out here do that, and this is not one isolated incident. This is in every damn near every church. About 99.9% of the churches out there. And it's not just a woman. They do it to your children. Children might be having problems, might be having something that consists of kids coming there. And guess what? The kid come there to talk because they might be problems. They call themselves expressing their problems. And what happened? That homosexual of a priest, of a pastor, a deacon, you name it, is already taking advantage of your child. And then that child's so damn ashamed that they don't want to tell their parents because they hold these false prophets on a high esteem,
Right.
like they're God Almighty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right.
And then they don't want to tell because now, if they do tell, they're going to get in trouble because they're going to get looked at as a liar. And you hear this a lot when you hear people talk about when they was violated. How come you didn't tell your parents? You didn't want to because, and when you hear that is because it's like no matter what, their mother, their parents can see no wrong in they pastor, no wrong
Mm-hmm.
in they deacon, no wrong in anything. So what do? They keep their mouth shut. And guess what? They grow up holding all that in. And you know what? By them holding it in, what happens? Their spirit is broken. And because their spirit is broken, what happens? They build up anger. They build up resentment. They have messed up relationships because guess what? That issue was never addressed because they was too scared, too ashamed, too embarrassed to bring it up. But understand, I, Shupikan, the Commanding General Yohana,
Right.
deal with
Mm.
counsel. We have counseling left and right. You go on the website, you get counseling. You find a school in the city near you. They have marriage counseling. They have every possible counseling there is, and especially for that. And understand when you call about a situation, it's no judgment. It's no judgment at all. Because understand, you don't wake up. You're not born a homosexual. The Lord said he's not an author of confusion. We're not
Right.
born homosexuals. 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, it was an adult that took advantage of a child, whether they was real little or they was in the transitioning from a child to a teenage stage. It was a violation which broke them down spiritually, morally. So understand, if there's issues like that going on and you call, we counsel. You go on the website and you find a school, you get all the information, you call in and understand is we don't judge you. We won't judge you because we understand. And when I say we understand, we know. We don't condone the homosexual behavior, but we understand what you're dealing with. And when I say condone, meaning when you come in and especially you coming in, that behavior stops at that door. That
Right.
lifestyle, that old man, that old woman, it stops at the door. Because when you come
Mm-hmm.
in and you start coming in, you're shedding yourself of the world. And shedding yourself is stopping anything that's contrary to the doctrine, to the Bible, to these scriptures. You have to stop. You smoking weed, you using drugs, that goes out the door. You sleeping with whores, that go out the door. You going to strip clubs, that's out the door. You're pedophile, that's going out the door. You're a drug dealer, that's going out the door. You robbing and killing, that's going out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for you to change, you gotta want to change.
Right. Right.
Christian church ain't doing that. Egyptology ain't doing that. Islam ain't doing that. Who's
Mm.
there? You know? The thing is, the black, Hispanic, and the Lord's chosen people, black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we Well, we don't have leadership. We do, but a lot of our people are so blind and not seeing it right under the nose since 1969 to now. ISUPK, that is under Commanding General Yahana,
Right.
is the only black leader that is going to raise this nation, that is raising this nation
Hmm.
and bringing us back to the
Right.
Lord, that is bringing us back into being men, putting the black man back in the black household,
Right.
teaching our women don't be putting our men on child support. Don't be using the system to substitute the black man in the household and teaching the black men to take charge and to control and to regulate and to bring security to that household and to make the women feel secure within the household and the kids as well. You know, uh, anything you want to say, Maganyala?
La sir. La sir. You said a mouthful already. La.
Okay, okay, yeah, no doubt. Okay, somebody just came in the chat. Oh, sister, Matazabah Shabbat. Hey, shalom. Y'all Shema all the thumb by Shem Yahshai.
La.
What's going on, sis? All right. Yeah, so you can drop that. Let me get okay, let me get Second Peter's 2:1.
The book of Second Peter, chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people,
Mm-hmm.
even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Yeah. But there were false prophets among the people. There's false prophets among us now, right? Even as they shall be false teachers among you, who are privily shall bring in damnable heresies.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Hmm.
You have false prophets out here talking about. I mean, name it, pick one. You're talking about microchips. You're talking about being able to rape 12-year-old girls, uh, to bring other nations into their group, and and trying to save Esau, and what else is, you know, that
Right.
we're all God's chosen people. Everybody on the face of this earth,
Mm-hmm.
we're all God's chosen people.
Hmm.
But answer me this real quick. Sidebar. Excuse me. Sidebar for a second. If Now, this is how you know our people are really destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because given what we see on social media, right, with the killings of our people, left and
Right.
right, you name
Right.
it, it's like two or three brothers and sisters a day, old, young, you name it.
Right.
With all this killing and
Mm-hmm.
these Christian churches, these churches are saying, and Islam do that too, that we're all God's people, right?
Mm.
If we're all God's people, shouldn't we be equal in this society? Shouldn't we have all the finer things in life like our oppressors have? So if we're all God's chosen people and God loves us and we God's children and we gotta forgive, right? "9/11 came, right?
Right.
Now, allegedly, they said it was Bin Laden that blew up the planes. All them people died and everything. You name it, right?
Right.
Why is the black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and women as well, the Lord's chosen people, still getting slaughtered like animals in the street? Why wasn't or isn't there hatred towards another nation that came into their land,
Mm-hmm.
killed this, a lot of their people
Mm-hmm.
being targeted?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying to go out there and do it. I'm not saying, but I'm just making a comparison. Why is that? You want to know why? Because our oppressor know who we are. Our oppressor know that we are the Lord's chosen people. Some pastors, a lot of pastors know that too, but they'd rather
Mm-hmm.
take the bag.
Right.
They'll rather take the bag than
Right.
to tell the truth
Right.
because they hate their people. They hate their brothers and sisters. They don't give a damn because you know how they don't give a damn because they'll sleep with their kids. They'll sleep with their wives, commit adultery, and they take their money. They'll murder if they have to.
Right.
They don't care because they hate their people. They are traitors to the Lord's chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
Believe that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, you could drop that. Um, um, Let me get Matthew's 24 and 24. As a matter of fact, let me get no. You know what? As a matter of fact, yeah, let me get Matthew's 24 and 24. Salakia.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 24.
Yeah.
For there shall arise false Christs
Go ahead.
and false prophets,
Mm-hmm.
and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Right. For there shall arise false Christ. Who's the false Christ? Caesar Borgia.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's false about that Antichrist, that Kenny G looking hippie in these
Mm.
Christian churches.
Mm-hmm.
False Christ. Because if you know the history of Caesar Borgia, he was a rapist, murderer, child molester, a dealer, you name it, a thief, a homosexual,
Right.
you name it. Everything that this country is built on is that bastard's
Right.
characteristics.
Right. All bases covered.
And for there shall arise false Christ. That's a false Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And false prophets.
False prophet.
And the the priest, the pastors and the priests, and the deacons and the
Mm-hmm.
beacons, and you name it, that are in the Christian church, that
Right.
are going around, first of all, saying that he's Christ,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
and also going around saying that he's also God. He's also the Most High. Go ahead.
And shall show great signs and wonders,
Go ahead.
insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Right. So they're coming. So a lot of brothers and sisters that come in that go through Christianity, we done been there before. We go through there. But the
Right.
most I ever elect. Because a lot of brothers and sisters that you see in IUBK and the General Yohana, we was once Christians. We was all once Muslims. We was all once in Egyptology. We was all once dealing with these other different religions. But the Most High had blessed us to
Mm-hmm.
open up our eyes
Mm-hmm.
to see through all that bullshit.
Right. Right.
So to sit there and think that you hear uh, a lot of people saying the Bible is the white man's book. That's a white man's book. The white man, the white man. Ah, everything in this Bible is black. Everything about this Bible is black. Color scriptures in there. It even gives you the description of our king, our brother, Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all know is Christ. It gives it this full description. And you know that description don't there is no description of that stringy head Kenny G looking hippie that's up in these churches here, Caesar Borgia.
Right. That's
Okay,
right.
Salakia. Let me get let me get just bear me 1 second, brother.
Mm-hmm. Khan Khan.
Yeah. Okay, let me get Romans 16 and 18, brother. When you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we look, we get it. We done did it. You know, a lot of our people don't like changes. A lot of our people is content with what they're dealing with and they're good with it. It shouldn't be like that because why? That's like walking into a burning building. That's like sitting here blindfolding yourself, driving 100 miles an hour on the highway with a blindfold on. That's suicidal right there. Understand that if you see, like I brought up the scripture earlier, it tells you to try the spirit, right? If you
Right.
see something wrong, you got to question it. And that goes for anything in life, but especially when you're dealing with and you're trying to find the truth, question. Like the brothers, like the brothers, the priests and prophets of the Lord. We tell you, challenge us, ask us questions. If something don't seem right, ask us. We will answer you. But a lot of other groups, you go question a pastor out there, or a priest, a deacon, or whatever in these Christian churches, they'll get offended. Like, how dare you question me? There's nothing wrong with questioning if you're looking for the truth. In order for you to get the answers to anything, you got to ask questions, right? What's that old
That's right.
saying? What's that saying? A closed mouth don't get fed.
Khan Khan.
Shoot, I'm trying to eat.
Khan
You
Khan.
know, if 1 plus 1 don't equal 2, then and you coming up with other numbers other than 2, I'm gonna question that. That don't seem right. And a lot of our people settle because they look at that wolf, that ravening wolf in sheep's clothing, to say, "Oh no, but the deacon so and so or pastor so and so, he knows what he's talking about. He's a man of the cloth. How dare I question him?
Mm-hmm.
It's right. It's all right to ask questions. That's not a sin. Ask questions. But why they'll get offended is because now you're putting them on the spot. Because Lord forbid you ask them a question in front of the whole congregation and you put them on the spot. Guess what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna probably get kicked out that church. They're gonna ostracize you.
Yeah,
you
that's right.
know?
That's right. That's right.
You know? So, you got that scripture, brother?
Con on con.
All right.
Romans
Uh,
chapter 16, verse 18. For they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
hold on. Let me see something. Oh man, hold on. Good night. Just bear me 1 second, brother.
Mm-hmm. Con on con.
Okay, go up to 17.
Con on con. Book of Romans, chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Read that again.
Now I beseech you, brethren.
Now I beseech you, brethren.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Mark them which cause divisions.
Mark them which cause divisions. Mark them. Who causing division? All these other religions, all these other false prophets out here. They cause division. You want to
Mhm,
know why? Because they cause division amongst our people for numerous reasons. They
mhm,
cause division amongst our people coming back to the Lord, to the Most High, our powers. They cause divisions amongst our people coming, giving, paying homage to our brother, our king, Yahushua Mashiach.
right.
They cause division amongst our people, amongst the rich and the poor.
Mhm, mhm, right. Hmm.
They mark the they you know they cause division amongst the man and the woman, the families. And how they cause division? Again, by not coming up with the solution, but adding to the problems
Hmm. Hmm.
of each individual that they violate, that they take advantage of. Go ahead, read.
Which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
And offenses contrary to the doctrine. Anything that goes opposite of what's in the Bible here, these laws, statutes, and commandments, is contrary to the doctrine. And we look, the man of the eyes you became the commanding general, your honor. Know these scriptures and know
Mhm,
right from wrong and understand these false prophets, our people, if you black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we have to avoid them.
right.
Why? Because they're causing division. They're not causing our people to come together and to build as a community, as a nation. They like dealing with individualism. How much money I can make. I can make more money than everybody in here, so I can look down. That's what Christianity and all these false prophets do. They breed selfish, self-centered bastards that only care about themselves and making their bellies fat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all these false prophets do. They don't care. They have they have their own agenda, you
Right.
know? Now, let me drop that. Let me get let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Just bear me 1 second.
Canada one con.
Yeah, bear me 1 second. Hold on. Okay. Let me get 2 Timothy 4:3. I'm sorry, Salakia. Salakia.
Canada one con. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Salakia. Salakia. Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
No. No. That's not the one I want. Hold on.
Canada con.
Hold on. Oh, dang. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's real heavy what you said, so Salak. It's real heavy what you've been saying.
Yeah.
You know, I done been around Christian pastors, caught a whiff of them speaking with each other, asking how many you running over there. Speaking of how many people they got in their congregation, like they sheep, cattle. You know,
Oh yeah, no doubt. Let me get Jeremiah 23:25. That's what I was looking for.
the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
Okay, so, hold on. Where have we heard that? Where have we heard that from before?
Hmm.
Where have we heard that before? What was yesterday?
Martin
What?
Luther King's.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Caine, aka Orgy Mike, aka Martin Luther King Jr. Birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, understand and sidebar for a second. before I get back to it.
Okay.
Understand that if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, and our oppressor that hate us gives you a holiday,
Mm.
gives you a day in your name, and give you that respect, understand that they know that you was a traitor out of 10. They knew you was a traitor. They knew you didn't care about your people you was about. And yesterday, a lot of our people take heed and acknowledge that day and think that, oh, our oppressors must love us because they give us a day for black, Martin Luther King Day and so forth. Understand that that don't mean dilly squat. That don't mean jack. Yesterday was nothing because for one, anybody that's about this Bible, that's about these laws, statutes, and commandments, would know for one, we don't celebrate birthdays. We don't celebrate any birthdays. We was only born once. Why every year we have to go and celebrate it? How many times we coming out our moms from between our mom's legs? You only do that once. We have christenings. We have not excuse me, Slovakia. Not we have baby showers. Damn, it's been a minute since I've been at one. We don't have christenings. Slovakia, correction. We have baby showers. We have a celebration of the birth of kids. We celebrate. It's a time to celebrate because it's an accomplishment, it's an achievement, it's the birth of a child. Having it every year is a Roman custom.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that. So yesterday is meaningless all the way across the board. Because
Right.
also, contrary to what anybody else may think, Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, Martin Luther King Jr. was a traitor. He was a false prophet. Martin Luther King Jr., Michael King, Orgy Mike. He ain't even he was so much of a traitor. He wanted integration just so he can sleep with white women. Just so he could be with them. That's all that was for. That's what drove him to push for that.
Hmm. Wow.
And when he
Right.
sat back and thought about everything just before the assassination of him, he sat there and he regretted it. Yeah, he knew the jig was up.
Hmm.
But read that Jeremiah 23 again, brother.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
Go ahead.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Now understand, it's not just Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
It's all these pastors and priests. Because what do they do? A lot of times, last night I had a dream that one of you out there was gonna give us $50,000 for the air conditioner or some fund or something, right?
Right.
They always talking about a dream. They was talking about a dream that benefit them. And a lot of times them dreams is indirectly saying somebody, if they had the goodness in their heart, would dig in deep into their pockets and someone come up with this money.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that's how they keep them going. That's how they keep the congregation going. Because why? Because for one, they they prophesize lies in the Most High's name. God, God gave me a dream. God said this. God told me this in my thing that we was going to get this and I was going to get my Bentley coupe. I mean, we was going to get an extra wing in the church, and you know they just keep going on lying. Why? Because they prophesy, because they prophesy lies, and they prophesy of the deceit of their own hearts.
Mm.
They prophesy
Correct.
what they want. They indirectly tell the congregation what they want without
Mm-hmm.
actually asking for them. And they use it in the name of the Most High. They use it in the name of the Most High and our King Yahushua. They use it
So
and say the Spirit and God and the Spirit, and they use everything to manipulate.
mm.
What do our people do? Shoveling their life savings into their pockets, into the church's bank account, into the pastor's, into the church's bank, which in turn, guess what? Next week, he's going to be pulling up in some big dog, high end, expensive car that damn near, if not all, most of the congregation can barely afford. And you know what he's doing? He's just flying around doing what? Molesting children, males and females, young males and females, committing adultery, doing something homosexual, or drug dealing, or murdering somebody, or having orgies and, or popping whores, doing something. And you know what he's going to do if he do get caught? He's going to talk about, the Most High came to me in a dream. And he said, you're going to go here and help get these sisters out of this horrible conditions. And he'd be up in the strip club. And the Lord told me to anoint them and so forth. And guess what? All them strippers is up in a room with him or somewhere getting it on, and he's making it rain. He's throwing money left and right. And guess what? He's gonna come back to church, do another sermon the following Sunday, and act like nothing ever happened. And that's gonna be a day in a life. And I'm sure it's a lot more. I'm just giving you a lot of visual things, but I'm sure there's other things that go on that I probably ain't even mentioned. You know what I mean?
Come on, come on.
That go on with them.
Hmm.
But what do our people do when they hear the men of ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, whether it's online, out in the street corners, whether we are doing things? You know what? A lot of our people will look at us, and you know the first thing they'll say, we just mad, we just bitter, we just some angry men because we're broke. Hold on a second. You know, they're gonna turn around and they're gonna turn around and say, "Oh, we just angry, we just broke," and a lot of them is going to go into everything else but dealing with these laws, statutes, and commandments. And sidebar for a second. I'm gonna just touch on Michael King, Orgy Mike. One of the things he did say in that last speech was he was like, I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house.
Right. Right.
And he said, I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house. And that was just before, I think a week later, if memory serves me right, uh he got assassinated. Now, for him to say that, that's because now I guess he started developing a conscience towards his people. It's too late. He must have knew the jig was up. They was on him, you know? And he knew just before, he knew something. He definitely knew something.
Hmm.
And the fact that he didn't, excuse me, he didn't the fact that he said that, it just goes to show you a lot of these priests, a lot of these pastors, they know what time it is. They know that what they're doing, they misleading our people.
Mm-hmm.
They know that, at the end of the day, you know, our people are vulnerable. Why? Because these greedy bastards know that a lot of our people, a lot of our spirits know that we're not supposed to be living like this. We're not supposed to be in this condition right here. And a lot of our people look for answers towards them,
Mm-hmm.
and they get none. Understand this. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we love our people. We care about our people. Commanding General Yohana cares about our people. We all, any brother and sister you see in ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, cares for our people. We're not going to take advantage of our people. You want to know why? Because we don't create problems. We solve problems. We
Right.
heal broken spirits, spirits that have been thrown out, that the world have spit out, that have turned their backs on us. The brothers and sisters that's in prison, the brothers and sisters that's been violated, old, young, the brothers and sisters that society have said you ain't gonna amount to nothing. We help fix the broken spirits of our men, of our women, of our children, old and young.
That's
And
right.
also understand this. ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana are not false prophets. We are not
Right.
traitors.
Right.
But Christianity, Islam, Egyptology, you name it. Anything else other than ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana is false prophets. And they are traitors to the Lord's chosen people. That's my time, Israel. I'm Priest and Officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut.
That's right.
Yahweh Shem Yah Shabrak Thumb. Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Ba Shem Yah Shai. That's my time. Shalom. Oh, pay your tithes. Give your donations. Click like, share, you name it. Subscribe to this channel, share the content, hit a like, and come into class. Come claim your culture. Come help build this nation. Put your brick in. Shalom.
Shalom.